Hello everyone. Hope all of you had good weekend. You might have enjoyed with your parents. So where were we? We were in the plant kingdom and in the third group. They are pteridophytes. So as I have told you, pteridophytes belongs to four classes: Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida and Pteropsida. So first of all, the class Psilopsida. The members belonging to the group genus Psilotum are examples. Psilotum is unique among living vascular plants because it lacks both roots and leaves. Instead of true roots, Psilotum have rhizoids. The main plant body of sporophyte produces haploid spores after meiosis division in sporangia. Sporangia are seen on the short lateral branches. The second class is Lycopsida. Members of genus Lycopodium, commonly called as club mosses, are examples for this class. But remember one thing, even though they are called club mosses, they are not related to the true mosses coming under bryophytes. The main plant body of Lycopodium, which is the sporophyte, consists of a branching rhizome. You can see here in the picture. Just to see here. Rhizome is actually an underground stem which is horizontal and grows continuously. Rhizome gives rise to aerial lateral shoots and also numerous adventitious roots. The leaves are small. Therefore they are called microphylls, which means small leaves. Some microphylls are special because they bear sporangium. Such microphylls bearing sporangia are called sporophylls. In some Lycopodium members, the sporophylls are grouped into a structure called strobilus at the tips of the aerial branches. The plural form of strobilus is strobili. In this pic, you can see 4 strobili. These are the 4 strobili. Members belonging to Selaginella are also common examples of this class. The main plant body of Selaginella members looks very similar to that of the Lycopodium members. The main difference between Lycopodium and Selaginella is that Selaginella is heterosporous, which means that Selaginella produces 2 different kinds of spores called microspores and megaspores. If you take a closer look at a strobilus of Selaginella, you can see 2 different kinds of sporangia in the same strobilus. They are microsporangia, which produces microspores, and megasporangia, which produces megaspores, as you can see here in this image. Both microsporangia and megasporangia have different shapes. You can see here in this pic. You see? Sporophylls bearing microsporangia are called microsporophylls, and sporophylls bearing megasporangia are called megasporophylls. Now let's see the life cycle of Selaginella. We will start with the spores. Here you can see. The megaspore germinate into a female gametophyte which forms archegonium with egg. The development of female gametophyte starts with the megaspore. The development of female gametophyte starts while the megaspore is still inside the megasporangium. The megaspores are liberated from the megasporangium either at the time of first archegonia formation or just after fertilization. The microspores are released when they get mature, when they grow, when they germinate into male gametophytes which form antheridia with the sperms. The sperms swim through the water and reach the egg cell in the archegonium. The nuclei of both egg and sperm fuse to form a zygote. You can see here, zygote inside the archegonium of the female gametophyte. The zygote will develop into an embryo and then into an young sporophyte. As you can see here in this image, the young sporophyte then grows rapidly independent, mature sporophyte. You can see here. The mature sporophyte forms strobilus with microsporangia and megasporangia in the megasporangium. The megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis division to form megaspores, while in the microsporangium, the microspore mother cells undergo meiosis division to form microspores. Once again, I will say the last thing. What I have explained was the mature sporophyte forms strobilus with microsporangia and megasporangia in the megasporangium. You can see here the image. The megaspore mother cells undergoes meiosis division to form megaspores, while in the microsporangium, the microspore mother cells undergoes meiosis division to form microspores. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will see the third class, that is Sphenopsida. Okay, thank you. Have a blessed and phenomenal day.